Imagine a disease so brutal that it made people fear sunlight, crave raw flesh, and slowly lose their minds. Skin peeling like burned leather, violent diarrhea, hallucinations, rage, and finally death. In the early 1900s, entire towns in the American South were convinced something supernatural was spreading. People whispered that the victims were turning into vampires. They avoided sunlight, developed extreme skin sensitivity, became aggressive at night, and craved meat. But this wasn't a curse. It wasn't supernatural. It wasn't even an infection. It was caused by corn. This is the story of Pellagra, how one tiny nutritional flaw created a continent-wide epidemic, and the ancient secret that could have stopped it. Here's the paradox. Corn didn't originally cause Pellagra. For thousands of years, Native American cultures from the Maya to the Cherokee built entire civilizations around corn. Yet there were no mass outbreaks of Pellagra, no epidemics, no vampire symptoms. The real disaster began when corn was introduced to Europe in the 1500s and later to the American South. Corn was cheap, easy to grow, perfect for poor farming communities. By the early 1900s, millions of people relied almost entirely on corn as their primary food source. But something was missing, something that would turn their most important food into their greatest threat. Their diet was rich in calories, but painfully poor in nutrients, especially one vitamin. And without that vitamin, the body collapses. To understand the epidemic, we need to talk about one molecule, niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin is essential for energy production, brain function, and repairing DNA. Without it, your body literally runs out of fuel. Pellagra is simply the human body starving for niacin. But here's the twist. Corn actually does contain niacin. The problem is that in untreated corn, niacin is locked away, chemically bound inside a structure the human body cannot digest. This form is called niacin, a trapped version of the vitamin. So people ate corn and ate more corn, and still starved on the inside. Doctors blamed germs. They blamed bad hygiene. They even blamed immorality. But one man solved the mystery. In 1914, Dr. Goldberger discovered Pellagra wasn't an infection at all. It was a dietary deficiency. He proved it using the most ethically painful study imaginable. Goldberger improved diets in hospitals, adding meat, milk, and eggs, and the disease vanished within weeks. But the biggest breakthrough had already existed for thousands of years, and Europe had completely ignored it. Fade into title screen. Act 4. The solution.
Long before Pellagra ravaged Europe and the American South, Mesoamerican civilizations had already discovered the antidote. They called it nixtamalization, a process as brilliant as it is simple. Corn is soaked and cooked in an alkaline solution, usually lime water or wood ash. This alkaline bath breaks the chemical bonds that trap niacin, transforming locked niacin into a free, absorbable vitamin. The process doesn't just unlock niacin, it increases protein quality, improves flavor, and even makes the dough easier to work with. This ancient chemistry was the reason indigenous civilizations could eat corn every day without ever developing Pellagra. But when corn spread to Europe, this step was lost. Europeans adopted the crop, but not the knowledge that made it safe. They copied the ingredient, but not the science. And this missing knowledge led directly to millions of cases of Pellagra and tens of thousands of deaths. But the story doesn't end there. Pellagra wasn't just a